So hey folks, welcome back to another video about the 67Stang. I almost said to my company YouTube channel. Anyway, neither here. Glad to have you back. Hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day weekend for those of us here in the United States. I do want to take a quick moment to just remember all of those that have served our country and paid the ultimate sacrifice so that we get the opportunity to enjoy weekends like this one, this extended holiday weekend. As a veteran myself, I deeply appreciate all of those that have paid that ultimate sacrifice. And so for just a second, I want to take a moment of silence just to remember all of those that have given their lives in defense of our country. Okay, thanks guys. I appreciate you allowing me to do that. It does mean a lot as a vet to do those kind of things. Anyway, so what are we going to do today? Well, I'm going to start yanking out the old original main engine harness from the car. Or harness is, I'm not sure what it is exactly, but we're going to start pulling that out so then we can start running the new harness. So get up under here and start pulling things out. So let's get busy. Okay, let's see what we got up under here. We'll start with, we have a couple of different harnesses here. We'll need to undo that one. And then this one actually goes back towards the transmission. So that's going to be the neutral safety switch connector there. So that's another thing we'll worry about in a little bit. I'm going to get the main harness out of here. So first thing is, how do I get this clip? So it's got one of these clips right here. See if I can pry that. Luckily I have a few new of these, so if I break these, it's not a big deal. Okay, so they just pry apart like so. Let's see if I can get something down. Oh, my sister-in-law is coming. That's a good thing, by the way. I like my sister-in-law. So get this. Oh, there's another one right here. There we go. That. Now remember, we got the tube here for the squirters. Okay, so we're gonna keep going here in just a second. Pause and see what my sister-in-law wants. Okay, so we got how many of those now undone? 2, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3, so 4. Here's a fourth one. Now, again, this harness I don't think is going to need to route, the new harness I should say, is not going to need to route the same way because it doesn't need to go to the voltage regulator that's up here, because that new alternator that we installed is self-regulating. So the only thing I should need these for on this side, I believe, these clips, I think retainers, whatever you want to call them, is for the squirter hose. Still important. I want to make sure we have a good clean windshield to see out of it. There we go. Clean out. There we go. Squirt hose. I need to replace this hose too. As I said, I think it's cracked. Several. Yep, right there. It's cracked, so you need to replace that anyway. Which could be a pain. Anyway, so now we get this, and then what does this run? This runs. Can't see where it all runs. It looks like it's running. grate down here. And up here, so need to disconnect it. There we go. Disconnects that. And that. So, oops. Oh, and there's a ground. Okay, so I gotta get a tool to disconnect the ground. Okay, what it looks like, I'm gonna grab the camera here and move you around a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm dealing with now. So you can see I disconnected it from the voltage regulator. So that had this connector, and then there is a ground. Let's see if I can get it down here. Oh, squirter fluid is leaking every friggin' where. Let's if we push that back up. Okay, sorry. Had to deal with the squirter fluid leak. Anyway, you can see there is a ground down there that I've got to disconnect. And then that runs through the front of the radiator support out to, let's see if you can see the mess. Yep, down and through there. You can see connectors and stuff there. So I may have to pull the grill off to make that easier to deal with. Okay, so I'm going to go evaluate this now and see if I've got to pull the grill off, because we're going to have to do the light connection. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go evaluate this and we will let you know how it goes from there. Okay, so it's a little bit later, and as you can see, I decided, yes, it was easier to pull off the grill. Also realized in doing so, I'm missing a bunch of screws that attach the grill to the decorative, this part, but anyway. You can see down there, I've got to get that pulled through, unconnect it, looks like from the horns. Guess there's still a connector down there I need to get out, but yeah, having the grill out is going to make this a lot easier. I'm just hoping it doesn't follow. I bet it does. I bet it follows this all the way down here and then back there. Okay, so I'm gonna have to trace this out and keep going, but I want to show you, yep, I pulled the grill off. So continue on pulling more stuff off. Okay, so the main engine harness, original harness, is now out of the car. So we've got it starting at this end, running that way. So this goes from the inside of the car to the firewall, out of the firewall through to the voltage regulator. This is all the voltage regulator stuff. Through the radiator's core support, plugging in to the lights up there. So you have the headlights and the turn signals and front park lights, right? Remember, this doesn't have side markers because it's a 67. Then coming up to here, so this again is light connections. Here, horn connections as well. There's a horn connector back there. And all of this stuff is what goes up and plugs into the alternator and starter solenoid and so on. So that whole thing is now out. And I don't know if you can see this here, but you can see where this wire is frayed in here, and there's some other signs. This is becoming brittle, which is the whole reason I wanted to rewire the car, although I wasn't really having any problems with it. From what I could tell, I didn't want to start to have problems. Actually, I saw a post on one of my Facebook groups that deal with Mustangs and old cars where somebody actually had an original wire harness. They were having a problem with one of their front turn signals, and then suddenly they wiggled or did something, and then the whole harness all the way back to the fuse box shorted out, blew up, burned up, whatever. There, so got this out of the car. So let's quickly look at what's replacing this. So now keep in mind, this is the combination engine harness and part of the light harness. Now there's still light cables and stuff in there, but this is one big harness. That's all that. The American Auto Wire kit actually has two separate harnesses for the engine and for the lights. And then also another one that goes to the oil pressure sending unit and the temperature gauge and electric choke if you have one of those and all that. So this is the harness that's going to be replacing this. Our harness is, notice it's got two connectors. So I'm not going to necessarily unravel this whole thing yet because I don't want to, probably not going to get to running this in the car today, but the two connectors are the two harnesses that make this up. So this one here with 3 plugs on it, it's got some pretty big gauge wire on here. So this is the primary power feed on it. You can see this big thick one. This goes to the starter solenoid where it gets power from the battery, whatnot. The pink one is your ignition coil feed, so this will go to the coil. And again, the American Auto Wire harness, it will work with points, but you have to have those, was it ballast resistors, or I forget exactly what they're called, but you got to have those in there. I'll try to get back so you can hopefully see me in here. But it prefers an electronic ignition, like the Protronics ignition I put on here back when I first got it started. If you want to see that, go back into First Start Part 2, I think it was. Yep. So you can see all that, how I installed it and whatnot there. But we got that, and then we have the other one is the purple cable, which is this one right here. Let's see if I can see what writing might be on it to tell me what it goes to. Starter solenoid. So this also goes to one side of the starter solenoid. Maybe it goes to the front. Anyway, I don't know. I'll figure all that out. But we got that. Then this other smaller connection here is one, yep, this is the one that's got the electric choke on it, the temperature sensor on it, the oil pressure sensor, and then alternator ignition. So this actually probably goes to the front of the starter solenoid. So anyway, so this is what's going to replace all of that. I've got tons of wire. One thing I can tell you is I'm doing this is the kit has no shortage of wires. You've got more than enough wire to keep the car going, and you'll have extra in case you want to do another project with it. So it's a good thing. So anyway, we've got it out. So step 4 or 5, I forget, whatever we're on. Complete. Now with that one out, I can start running this one, and then we also have the light harness. So this is for the lights in the car, the headlights, the front turn signals, if you have fog lights, all that stuff, your high beams, anyway, all that goes here. So we'll be running this also after we run that first. So with that, we're going to call it a video. I hope you have enjoyed this one. The next one will hopefully be me running the new engine harness in there. So with that, make sure to subscribe to the channel, share this with your friends, let them know about it. If they, if anybody likes old cars and they might like to follow the progress on this one, I would love it if you could do that. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.